Welcome to the second video on thin-walled pressure vessels. In this one, we'll go through the longitudinal stresses, stress right there, and the stresses in a spherical pressure vessel. Defining the longitudinal stress will actually be a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and draw that. We're going to cut right like this, and then we'll look at the stress of this over the whole thing. So, very cool drawing there. Very good. Love to draw. Okay, so this is what we have going on. We've got the longitudinal stress all around here. It has to counteract the normal stress of the pressure going in this direction. We know the area that the pressure is going to be acting over, right? It's going to be the inside of that circle. And we know the area that the longitudinal stress is going to be acting over. It's going to be acting over the outside of this circle. So we're going to obtain that, and this is summation of force in the x direction, but the summation of force in the x direction, well, that's gotta be 0, and that's going to be 2 pi times r for that times the thickness times the longitudinal stress is going to be the force, one of the forces in the x direction, minus pi r squared times the pressure. So we can rearrange these. Fortunately, the pi sort of, so we can rearrange those. The pi, fortunately, just sort of divides out, as does one of the r's, but obviously this one is going to remain. We're going to end up with pi, not pi, stress, the longitudinal stress, is going to be equal to P R over 2 T, which is to say it is going to be equal to 1/2 the hoop stress. Always, always, always. And that's going to have some pretty positive effects on what we can say about Moore's circle when we're looking for our maximum in plane stresses and things. Let's move on to that. If we want to consider the circular the stresses of a circular pressure vessel, what we'll find, obviously, is if we look at this, because it's, well, the same in every direction, we only have one stress, right? All of these are going to be the same. We're going to have the same normal stress in every direction. So as a result, we only have to consider one of these. And it's going to be basically the exact same as this, right? Because instead of cutting at some point along here and then looking at the pressure applied over all this area. I know I only drew one arrow, but what can I do? This was already getting messy. We do the same thing here, except for we cut the circle in half, and we've got a laughably bad circle, and then this for the rest of it. We're going to end up with the same drawing here. We're going to get exactly the same work here. Okay, so we're going to end up with, for a spherical stress, you know, oh, there's a P in there, huh? For the sphere, there is no stress 1. There is only stress 2, and it's equal to PR over 2T. Because there is no hoop stress, there's only the longitudinal stress, over and over. Okay, so it's the exact same work here. It's going to be functionally the exact same. You've got the stress around the circumference of this circle that we've cut, and then we've got the pressure that we're applying on the fluid right there to keep that in there. Alright, so that is what all of the normal stresses are in these directions. But we also have some pretty broad conclusions we can come to with the with more circle, because we have a fixed ratio between them all. In this case of the cylindrical pressure vessel, we've got that the hoop stress is twice the longitudinal stress, and in the case of the spherical pressure vessel, we have the fact that the stress is the same in all directions. So we can let's do that now. We'll look at the conclusions that more circle can give us on that.